Darren Alff here from BicycleTerrainPro.com. Today is day 2 of my bike tour through Northern California and the giant redwoods that are here along the coast. I am at Patrick's Point State Park, and behind me is the Sumac Village. The Sumacs were Native Americans that used to live in this area, and they constructed their homes out of the redwood trees. So these buildings that you see behind me are made from planks of the redwoods. So today's day 2 of the trip. I have a 20-mile bike ride up the coast, and then I'm going to be headed into the mountains, which is where the redwoods should get really, really thick. Here we go, day 2. All right, so I'm back on the road. I got about a half mile to go, and then I hit the 101 freeway. And I think most of the ride today, for the first half at least, is going to be on the Highway 101. So I'm not sure if it's going to be quite as scenic as yesterday, but we'll see. Onto the freeway. Woo! This is where we go uphill. Seriously steep climbing now for a while. So while I was going up that hill there, I got passed by a sheriff's vehicle, and he spun around, turned around, came up behind me, and I stopped. And he basically was just asking like where I was going, what I was doing, where I was going to stay tonight, things like that. And I told him my route, and he suggested some places that I could camp tonight. One of which is like 17 miles up the road. But he basically said like be careful because the people up here are a little, and they might you know, give you some problems, so warning, be careful. And then just now I stopped for a second because I found this knife on the side of the ground, and here it is, but its locking mechanism is broken, so that's probably why someone chucked it. But free knife, it would work. I'm just gonna leave it like next to this signpost here beside me. Maybe someone else wants it. I don't want to carry it, but anyways, that was my chat with the sheriff and the free knife. I realize this road doesn't look that steep on camera, but let me tell you, this is one of the steepest roads I've cycled in a long time. Holy crap, I'm so tired. when I'm talking to camera, you know it's gotten less steep. I can't talk and climb super steep stuff at the same time. I'm still going uphill at the moment, but it's evened out a little bit. A big logging truck just pulled over, stopped, and said that he just saw a bear right up the road here. So he was giving me a warning. I'm a little afraid now, so I'm trying to make some noise. And I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled here. That's a little scary. He didn't say how big the bear was. That's good information to know. As a bicycle tourist, I have several fears, the biggest of which is just getting hit by a car. But a close second, I would say, is seeing a bear while I'm on my tour. And I really don't want to see one up close. Like from a super far distance, that would be good. But yeah, I don't want to see one when I'm all by myself up here and totally exposed on my bicycle. That's the bad thing about a bike versus a car in certain situations like this, is I just have no protection. And you can't outrun a bear on a bicycle. And did I mention they have mountain lions up here also? And several of them were spotted recently at the campground that I stayed at last night. So they are definitely active in the area here. Ugh. I am so hungry right now, you would not believe it. I'm gonna cook up some rice and make a salad. That's gonna be my dinner for tonight. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the view until the sun sets. And then after that, I'll climb inside my tent and try not to think about bears. All right, it's time for my end of the day recap. Day 2 here in Northern California. It was a good one. A little rough, to be honest, though. The first half of today, I was cycling on the highway, Highway 101, going into a headwind. So the scenery was good, but not as good as yesterday. And the cycling was a little bit more intense just because I had cars and trucks passing within a few inches of me. Once I turned inland, the wind disappeared, which was great. However, the climbing began, and I was basically climbing all day after I made that turn. Now, I'm used to climbing. It's okay. I can handle it, but I'm not fast by any means. And I didn't cover as much ground today as I was hoping to. I was kind of hoping to be like 20 miles further up the road. And I could have made it, to be completely honest. I could have made it there in time. But I wanted to stop early because I wanted to camp in this like big field. I did not want to camp in the dark, scary forest, especially after the trucker today told me that he had just spotted a bear. So that's like, you know, at the top of my mind is that bear spotting. So I saw this field and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna camp here. Even though it's kind of early, like I stopped around 5 o'clock, there was still 2 hours worth of daylight. So I stopped early, didn't get as far as I wanted to, but the good thing is that gave me time in the daylight to set up my tent and cook some food and do everything that I needed to do before it got dark. So anyways, that's the day. Tomorrow is day 3, continuing up in the mountains, and then I'm gonna drop down into town. It's about 40 miles to the next town. Half of that is up and half of it is down, but yeah, still got some good cycling ahead of me. Day 2 was a success.